As many of you may know, Naruto, one of the big 3 manga series, ended last year. I only got around to reading the conclusion about a month or 2 ago, and whilst I had more than a few issues with it, I have to admit it did leave a bit of an empty feeling inside. Naruto had a special place in my heart. I had binged through the anime when I was young with my friends and family and was fully invested in the plot throughout my childhood. And now it was over. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find a suitable replacement, an anime that could make me love the characters, an anime that had amazing world building, an anime that could make me so hyped that I couldn't stop myself from smiling. That is until I watched Boku no Hero Academia. Now, before I watched the first episode of Boku no Hero, I'd already heard a lot about it on Reddit and other social media, with some even praising it as a successor to the big 3. After seeing the raving reviews before and after the release of the first episode, I had to see what was driving everybody crazy. Now, if this was me before the episode, this was me after the episode. Oh, and I'd binged the entirety of the manga as well. So yeah, let's just say I sort of enjoyed it. The story of Boku no Hero is nothing you haven't heard before. Some years ago, kids were found to be born with a mutation that allowed them to exhibit a certain ability, or a quirk as the show puts it. Fast forward to present time, where 80% of the population has quirks, which range from growing in size, altering your own shape, or modifying your body in certain ways. The main character, Izuyu Midoriya, also known as Deku, has the ill-fated luck of being part of the 20% without a quirk, or being quirkless, and is then discriminated against during his schooling life due to his lack of any ability. However, this does not stop Deku from dreaming that he will one day become a great superhero, much like his beloved idol and #1 hero, All Might. To accomplish his dream, his first goal is to get accepted into the nationally ranked prestigious superhero school of UA. However, the story begins when on one fateful day, he has a face-to-face encounter with All Might. Now, from the synopsis that I've just provided, you can probably tell where the show is headed, and could probably guess what's going to happen initially. Hell, you could probably predict the bulk of the story and the plot twist as you watch the show. But the strange thing is, even though I knew what was coming, I still enjoyed it. Hell, I even loved it. I found myself forgiving the predictable story. Not every story needs to be like Game of Thrones and consistently throw us for a loop. Sometimes, like in Boku no Hero, a generic story done right is exactly what we need. And how does this show do it right, you may ask? Well, it is partially due to the amazing world building, but primarily owes to the phenomenal myriad of characters. The main characters for shonen series have certain traits and personalities that they exhibit, and the one trait that almost all shonen main characters have is this: a clear, defined goal. A goal that the main character pursues helps the audience believe in the character and their motivations, and ultimately invests us into their own story. Luffy to become the king of pirates, Naruto to become the Hokage, Yukihira to become the #1 cook, and so on and so on. However, their associated personality whilst pursuing this goal is what differentiates these main characters. Luffy being carefree and generally only interested in his own pursuits, Yukihira the right level of arrogance to know that he's good, and Naruto the abrasive and dim-witted main character with his heart in the right place. So how does Deku stand in comparison? Well, he's the wimpy dork that simply needs acknowledgement that he, a quirkless boy, can in fact become a hero. Honestly, this is reminiscent of Suna from Katekyoshi Hitman Reborn, and I can't help but completely root for characters like these. Characters that, despite the disadvantages, can rise up to the challenge with sheer willpower and tenacity. Such a likable character is further mirrored with the other extremely likable character, All Might, a complete caricature of the textbook American superhero, from the way he looks to his superhero moves. The way he interacts with Deku and the other characters just cements All Might as one of the most enjoyable sensei characters to watch, second only to great teacher Onizuka. The characters of Deku and All Might are highlighted even further by the contrast provided by Bakugo, Deku's childhood friend. Praised during his childhood due to his flashy combustion quirk, it manifested into arrogance, narcissism, and pride like you couldn't believe, and was the prime instigator in the bullying of Deku, calling the quirkless trash, and for Deku to kill himself so that he has a quirk in the next life. Now, although he may seem bad, I do implore you to keep watching and keep an open mind about his character. His arc is one of the most interesting ones I've read. Now, this is not even delving into the majority of the other characters, many of whom stand out and are extremely memorable as the story progresses on. You see, this show handles the plethora of characters with such grace that you can't help but find yourself liking most of them. From the crazy antics of Mineta, to the earnest nature of Ida, and the brutal honesty of Tsuyu, even the moments when Deku is an absolute madman. If the characters are done right, then most, if not all, other pieces will fall into place. The characters and the world that is built regarding the quirks, heroes and villains are just so well done. There is a simple joy in watching the characters strive together and perform their tasks in battle with each other, learning how to utilize their new peers' strengths and ultimately prevailing. It gives me a feeling that I've longed for ever since I'd watched Naruto and One Piece. That warm, rising feel of hype inside whenever I watch something awesome happen that I can't help but smile. It's honestly unbelievably addicting, like shonen drugs, which may have explained me anxiously waiting for the show every Sunday for my shonen hit. Now, Based Bones continued to deliver with stellar animation throughout the series, absolutely nailing the portrayal of characters from the manga. The animation even jumped up in quality during the fight scenes, which made it even more of a delight to watch. There were also some added scenes during and after the fight scenes, which weren't present in the manga, but in my opinion honestly added more drama and realism to the show. The music was equally as good, perfectly matching up with the tone of the moment. At some scenes, it combined orchestra, pure rock, and even rapping at times to help raise the hype further, which worked surprisingly effectively. You can probably guess from what I said what I'm going to rate this show. If I had the entire show when I started watching, I would have definitely binged it. Hell, I even binged the manga as a substitute drug. Now, despite the tried and true formulaic story, a show like Boku no Hero, with such quality characters, animation, music, and simple enjoyability, is a definite must-watch of this anime season. Want a shonen that will make you yell "Pulse Ultra!" Then Boku no Hero Academia is just the show for you. I give this anime a definite 5 out of 5.